Hey everyone, I am Andrea Mitchell. I'm a Diamond Ambassador, and I am so excited to introduce you tonight one of my sweet dear friends, Rebekah Fowlkes. Rebekah has worked really hard and very intentional about her social marketing. It's not a new concept to her, but I have had the joy and the privilege of watching her grow in this and watching her research new things and examine new things and really see what works. And I've gotten to watch her share that knowledge with other people who are interested in growing their social network presence and just being more attractive in that. So I'm really excited that Rebekah was so kind and gracious to join us on this call tonight and just share a few of her tips with us. And so Rebekah, take it away.
Hey y'all, thank you, Andrea. I'm super excited to come on here and talk to y'all about this. I feel like the last year especially, I've just gotten so excited and have felt so strongly about social media because I love network marketing. Like, I love it. I think it is so cool. I think the people that are in it are amazing. And when I look at the people that are successful in network marketing, I'm just impressed with who they are, how they live their lives, what they value. And so I'm like, we are in a good place. And I think what happens is people get so excited and they start putting all this stuff on social media because you're excited, and I mean, we're all excited. And so we start just putting all this stuff out there, and then our networks are seeing this, and they're introduced to Plexus by what we're putting out there. And so we have to remember that while we've got all this Plexus on the brain, we have to serve up the opportunity, the business, the products in a way that they can receive it. And social media just gives us this really loud, this platform literally to be, I was remembering something I want to tell y'all, to be able to talk to them. And I think it's so important to take social media seriously. I'm just kind of finishing up reading this book by Jeff Olson. It's called The Slight Edge, and it's excellent. And something that he repeats over and over and over again in there is what is easy to do is also easy not to do. And so that's why Plexus is so hard, right? Because all those little things that are easy to do, and that really, the other theme to the book that I've found is just that consistency compounds. And so all those little things that are seemingly easy to do, that are also easy not to do, that's going to be that slight edge that either pushes you towards success because you've chosen to do those little things that are going to get you to the level of success that you're wanting to achieve, or they're going to curve you by not doing those things that are easy not to do to not seeing the success. And so social media, putting posts on social media, that's easy. Getting on there, it's free, it's easy, it looks just kind of easy, but it's also easy not to do because you're like, I'm not really sure what to post, or what am I going to do with this? And so I just want to tell y'all, this is worth your time and looking into. And I'll tell y'all exactly what I tell the Jewels at the Jewels of Excellence training when we do that, that if you're not really looking at your social media and really investing in this, we're in this information age, and that this is we're network marketers. So our job is to market to our networks. And so if you're not marketing to your network on social media, I hope you're having a lot of sip and seas. And I hope that you are going door to door and you are calling people and doing all the things. So if you're not going to put it on social media, I'm not going door to door. I'm not calling everyone in my phone book and doing this every single day. I'm not doing that. The best way for us to do this is on social media. And I think network marketing is cool. I think Plexus is cool. And I think you can present this in a way that is authentic and genuine and will be received by your target demographic. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about attraction marketing and why some things work and why some things don't work that I've found over the last few years. If I've kind of had one like niche that I've really just studied and focused on for the last 5.5 years of Plexus. And honestly, since Facebook came out the summer that I went to college. So you had to have a .edu email address. You could only be on Facebook if you were a student. And I just loved it, and I've loved it ever since. As soon as Instagram opened up, I was on there. I was a mommy blogger. Social media has just kind of been my jam, and I totally think that it's worth our time. And so I'm so excited that y'all are investing in your businesses by being on here tonight and thinking, how can I do this a little bit better? The first thing that I just want to crush is the limiting belief that tells you, if you've had voices in your head, they're like, oh, everybody that I'm seeing on Facebook is already selling Plexus, and my friends are all, people already know about it, and look at all these people that are doing it, and there's no one that wants to buy from me. That is a total lie. I've been doing this for 5.5 years. I sponsored close to 100 people last year, and almost half of those were from Instagram, people that I'd never met, that I'd never known. I'm always like, my husband's in law enforcement, and I'm like, another person just gave me their social through Instagram stories. Totally kills me. But this is worth your time. And there are people that are looking for what you have to offer. And so we just have to think about clarifying your message and putting it out there in a way that your customers are going to go, hey, I want some of that. I'll take what she's got. And the first thing that you can kind of decide on is, who are you selling to? And so you'll hear different people call that an ideal customer or an ideal customer avatar. And so take some time to really think about, who is your target customer? And I think the mistake is thinking, well, I want to appeal to everybody. I want everybody to see what I have and to buy what I'm selling. And the other thing that this will hurt you with, if you don't get into figuring out who your ideal customer is you start looking side to side and thinking, oh, well, I'm not going to talk like, my social media isn't going to look like Andrea's, and so I can't do this. Or, oh, I'm not like Chris and Susie McCall, and so I'm not going to be able to be successful. And you can go down the line, and it starts making you go, because I don't have the strengths of so-and-so, or my voice doesn't look like this, or I don't look like her in pictures, or whatever that is, you start to think, oh, well, then I don't have a place here. And that's not true. So you need to think about, who is your ideal customer, because your vibe is going to attract your tribe. So who you are is going to attract typically your ideal customer. And so I get really specific with this. And so I'm going to be kind of embarrass myself, but my ideal customer's name is Julie. And Julie is 33 years old. She has a combined household income of about $100,000 a year. She has 3 kids. She's active in her kids' school. She's a stay-at-home mom. She exercises, but she wants to exercise more. She cares about healthy foods, but she wants to care a little bit more. She has a lot of friends. She loves people. People love Julie. Julie loves Julie. She's a strong, independent woman that is looking for ways to better her family. That's who Julie is. And so when I'm posting, I'm thinking about Julie. And so I'm not going to say typically, hey friends, hey y'all, hey guys, I wanted to tell y'all about this. No, I'm saying, hey you, hey friend, hey sister. I'm talking singularly to Julie, because that's who I'm talking to. And whenever I'm looking at my post, I'm thinking, would Julie like this? And I think you can start to go, oh, well, what about the so-and-sos? And what about the so-and-sos? I'm telling you, if you will niche in and think about who you want to attract, it is going to really help you. And if you look at any kind of, I'm like an avid reader. I read like almost a book a week. I'm just like listening to podcasts every day. Anything in marketing is going to say, you look for your smallest viable market. And so really, I just talk about a few products and what those products can address. I'm just kind of talking about Plexus in a very singular way. And so I encourage you, and what happens, like you can kind of think about this when you see a Facebook post and maybe something is a social issue that you feel strongly about, or it's something that is something that really like brings out a part of your faith that you really agree with, or just something that you feel like someone is talking to you, you kind of sit up a little and you kind of pay a little bit more attention, and you're a lot more likely to like that post or engage on that post because it's triggering something in you. You feel like you are being spoken to. And so one thing that I heard the other day and I can't quit thinking about was this guy, and he's written a couple books. His name's Russell Brunson. He's big in the digital marketing world. And he said that he thinks that there's this line where you find 1,000 true fans. And he's talking about how the true fans are the ones that are going to listen to every one of their, look at all their social media posts. They're going to, they write a book, they're going to buy it in hardback and paperback and the Audible version. They're going to show up if you're having an event. They're the people that are just going to absolutely pay attention. They're your besties. Okay. And I was just kind of thinking about that. And he was saying a lot of times in businesses, people that are kind of entrepreneurs, when they find those 1,000 true fans that are really devoted to what they're doing, that's where they can see financial freedom. That's going to be a big level of success. And so the more I thought about that, while I see that, even as if your organization was 1,000, I would tell you to dial that back and think if you could find, I think that we look at these vanity metrics on Instagram or Facebook, and you're looking at your likes and you're looking at your followers and you're looking at all those things. If you could dial it down to, if you could find 100 people, like just if you could attract people in your tribe, that would revolutionize your business. If you had 100 customers, or you had 100 level ones that were like, yeah, I'll have what she's having. And do not tell me there aren't 100 people on social media that aren't looking for what you have to offer in the way you are offering it. Just like me being the big reader and podcast listener that I am, I realize and recognize that a lot of the information is the same over and over and over and over again. It's just packaged differently from different people, that there's nothing new under the sun. None of the ideas that I've heard have been just totally revolutionary. It's just the way that different people say it will hit me in different ways. The same thing with Plexus. I've had people that I've reached out to. I've wanted them to join my team. They've been my Facebook friend for 10 years, whatever, and they've said no to me several times. And then a level 2 will reach out to them, and they have a different connection with her, or she's marketing in a way that I wasn't, and they join her team. And so you just need to decide and figure out what is your voice on social. Who are you? Because you're cool. You've got special gifts. You've got things that are not like me or not like Andrea that people will be listening to, the customers that we can't reach. And so that's what social kind of allows you to do. And so another thing that I would just say is with that whole, your vibe attracts your tribe, and you start to kind of evaluate and assess what your account looks like. Be kind of looking and are you talking, a lot, like, are you negative, or are you talking a lot about being sick or having problems or financial issues and all those different things, which are real and authentic and issues that people have. I would just say, I wouldn't put those on my social media, because that is who you're going to attract. That's what's coming in. And I'm looking for those Julies, because I'm looking for people I'm looking for the quality over the quantity. That then I don't want to have to, here comes Jolene, and she's got all these issues, and she's negative, and she's got lots of, just mindset issues and all these things that I'm trying to sit here and coach, Jolene into doing all this, you can do it, come on, let's do this together. And then I can't find Julie, because I'm spending over my time, and Jolene is putting all that negative stuff on me and hurting my beliefs. So I'm not looking for Jolene's, I'm looking for Julie's. And so I'm choosy with who I want, in my business. Another thing is just and I'll say, honestly, for the first few years that I was doing Plexus, I would say I really was only looking for business builders. I really was just talking. I would post weight loss or before and after photos where people could see a difference. But really what I was talking about over and over and over again was the business. And so, you know what I attracted? Business builders, because that's what I was I was talking about the compensation plan. And I know a theme that I see on my own team is I'm like, okay, give me your sell. Give me a video that's you telling me all the reasons that you want to join the business. And they go through and they start listing out, it's so fun and it's a community and I love the people. I'm my best friends and the products have helped me so much. And if you want to know about the compensation plan, then just let me know. I'm like, no. I want you to tell me about the compensation plan. In your post, be bold, be willing to say, I got a check this week and this is how I earned it. Pick out your favorite part of the compensation plan, or your favorite way that you can get a bonus, or your favorite one thing that you were able to do with your check, or that you've been able to do the last few months or the last year. Be specific. People want to know what's behind the curtain. They're just kind of scared to ask. And so, and also, we used to say that we needed like 7 exposures to be able to get someone's attention through marketing, or maybe it was TV ads or billboards or whatever. But now, because social media is so massive, they're saying it's more like 20 exposures before you can really get someone's attention. And so that means that you need to be posting quality posts that are telling people, that are speaking to, when you think about your Julie, when you think about your ideal customer, what's keeping her up at night? What's bothering her? What was her last purchase? What is she saving money for? What are those things where you can go, hey, I've got something for you? If you're just putting out there these general posts, people just keep scrolling. They just keep scrolling. And so what you're putting out there has to appeal to that one person. And they're going to go, I am worried. I do want to put my kids in private school next year. I am worried. I do want my kids to do the extracurriculars. And I want to do, I'm worried, oh my gosh, in just a few years, my kids are all going to need cars or college or braces or diapers, whatever it is. But when you're talking to their direct needs, they go, yeah. I had a girl call me one time a year and a half ago, and she said she was reading my post. I was like, are you tired? Are you covered in babies all day? Are you done? It was just, are you? She goes, I was reading that and I was going, yes. And so think about who you're talking to when you're making those posts. I kind of want to switch gears, and I just kind of pivot here, not very graciously, but next. So a lot of times when people are worried about social media, one of the first things that comes up is that they think the platforms are not authentic, and that they want to be relatable, and they are unique, and they are authentic and genuine, and they want that from other people. And so what I want to say to that is perfect, because that is what other people want too. And so when you see some of these polished feeds that everything looks perfect, and maybe there's a preset on everyone, and everyone's, just perfectly filtered, and their house is perfect and their clothes are perfect and all that, that does not have to be you. Like, I rarely, if I'm on an Instagram story, rarely do I have makeup on. My hair's on top of my head. I'm like red faced with like mascara from yesterday under my eyes or something. I'm not on there perfect. And I'm just talking to people. I'm just being myself. And so you can do that. I think the disconnect is the fact that Facebook and Instagram, more Instagram, but Facebook too, these are visual platforms. And so just like when you're seeing the people and they're scrolling, there's a lot of images. And so when you just throw an image up there and you don't think, is this image clear? Like, most people have smartphones. If you have a smartphone, then your image should be in focus, because it is capable of doing that. You don't have to have a fancy big camera, but just a clear image is really important, because then they can see what you're trying to show them. And here you're going through all this effort of thinking through a post and putting a picture up there and putting words about it, and make it slow their scroll so they can actually read what you have to say. A lot of times I'll take my phone and I'll turn it on selfie mode, and I'll look for the light. Like, a lot of times there's lighting. Y'all taking pictures where on one side it's a clearer picture than if you just would have moved a little. But these little things that are easy to do are also easy to not do, and that can mess with your success curve. And it's just, when people look at your picture, if it's kind of distorted or it's hard to see, or they're not really sure what you're supposed to be focusing on, well, they're not going to sit there. There's another picture, just one swipe away. And so they're going to go to the next one. So making sure that you're capturing their attention with your image or your caption, whatever that looks like. And just thinking, would this slow my scroll? Would this make me laugh? Would this make me think? Would this grab my attention? Hopefully something in your post is going to cause some kind of emotion. That's what you're trying to connect with them. And a lot of times, especially in women, you're looking to connect with them through some kind of emotion. So why are you posting that? And just ask yourself. And then just what are you tending to put out there? When you look through, do a self check. Look at your social media. Look at your Facebook or your Instagram. Would you follow you? And what kind of person do you think would follow you? Maybe go and look at the last few people that have followed you on Instagram. What do their accounts look like? Who are they? That's something that can kind of be telling to you about who are you attracting. There's two main just forms of, not forms of payment, but well, the word I'm looking for is totally escaping me, but there's two ways that are, people are like in commerce. Okay, I'm totally having a moment and my face is getting red, but collateral. Is it collateral that I'm looking for? When people are looking on social media and they are looking for what is going to can be bought and sold, it's either entertainment or education. And those are the two biggest things that people are looking for on social media. They're coming for a brain break or to just scroll. And so are you entertaining them, or are you adding value both those can be adding value, but are you educating them on something? And you can do that. You are fully capable of providing value through education and entertainment. And one way that we do this is through kind of framing a brand for you. And this goes back to that very first thing about you have something to offer, that you are fully capable, and that's what's going to set you apart. If you're feeling like stuff feels saturated and you want to stand out, then just be you. Then don't keep looking side to side and going, oh, I'm going to put this same social media post on that's circulating all throughout. Here, I'm going to repost that. If you just are blending in with everyone else, you're not standing out, and no one else is going to order from you. And so speak from your heart. Say things that just you would say. Say it in a way that you would talk. I'm always telling, people, think about a story you would tell and think how you would tell it, and throw out the rules. I was an English journalism major. I literally took every English class my high school offered. I love English, but throw some of that grammar stuff out the window. It's okay to use slang. It's okay to end a sentence in a preposition. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect grammar. Just write like you would talk. And because when people are reading that, it's entering their brains like someone's talking to them. And so if it's this very perfect, defined, sentence structures and all that, people just talk in sentence fragments. We talk with, the ellipses to kind of show a pause or whatever. It's like, just think, how can I give this information in a way they can receive it and hear what I really want them to understand? And again, it's just, it takes, some of these things they take a little bit more time, but the more that you do them, they're going to become second nature. And this is how you're getting your message out there to the masses. And so you want to take the time to really think about this. When you start to frame your brand, there's a few things that are going to be immediately applicable to you. And I would say just kind of dial it down, because again, when you're needing to get so many of those exposures, you want to make sure that people are receiving that and that they're seeing the right things. And so I would say to kind of narrow in the things that you're posting about. Kind of my goal is, I love when people send me random stuff and they're like, this seems like something you would post. like they're kind of getting to know me, or this sounds like something you would say or whatever. I love that because my brand is becoming noticeable or identifiable in different places. And so you can do that too. But one part of your brand would obviously just be your lifestyle. So whether you're a mom or a sister or an aunt or a wife and those things, like just what you're doing on the day-to-day and what makes your life yours, lifestyle would be one of those. The second one would be health. We are in the health and wellness industry. That can be under the umbrella of your physical health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, your mental health, and putting out value and education, or here's 3 tips on getting better sleep tonight, or things about like all that kind of stuff. That's all under the umbrella because Plexus absolutely fits in there. And then financial health, all those different things, that's all under that umbrella of health. And so you've got lifestyle, you've got health. The next one I would say would be empowerment, because we want to empower people to do hard things. You want to attract strong women. You're looking for people that want to join your tribe, that are that you're pumping them up to do big things. And so empowerment would be one. And the fourth is just, it could be anything. For me, it might be baseball or tacos, or maybe you're someone that travels a lot. Maybe you're someone that gardens. Maybe you have a preschool class, and so you're able to give lots of tips on how to deal with preschoolers and ways to help them at home and deal different things like that. Something that would be unique to you. And if you're having trouble thinking, I got nothing, then think back, pre-Plexus. What were you talking about? What were you excited about? Because there probably were things before you got really wrapped up in Plexus. And what I see happening is a lot of times people come into Plexus and they see a lot of success in the beginning because you've primed your audience for a long time. You've been giving all this value for a long time, whether it was letting them in to your family, or putting out inspirational things, or maybe one of those passion kind of projects that you used to have and you don't have anymore. And so you were putting out the value. And so your audience was paying attention. And then you built that know, like, and trust factor up. And then when you said, hey, I've got Plexus, they went, awesome. I love Sonia. So I'm gonna buy Plexus from her. But then all you did was talk about Plexus for the next year or 2 years. And so they're like, okay, does Sonia have anything else to talk about? Like, I'm not going to listen to Sonia anymore if it's all Plexus. And so that's where you go back to adding that value, because when you are constantly giving value on health and you're giving them education and you're pumping that up, you earn the right to then say, and I've got something else for you. So, but you just need to make sure that those, the percentages are kind of right on how much you're not just talking about Plexus all the time. And I'm going to give y'all some tips on that, but framing your brand and kind of thinking about what are the things that I'm mainly going to talk about. And that's one of those things that it's like doing a budget or cleaning out your closet in the beginning that seems like this massive thing. But then once you do it, it's so freeing because it gives you this time and it's kind of set these boundaries for you. And you're like, oh, I've got so much to talk about. But it's just the like laying it out the first time that you're like, what am I going to do? But planning that out, it actually is really helpful. I personally would suggest that 60% of the time you're marketing. And so by marketing, I mean, you're not talking about Plexus directly. Instead, you're talking about health. You're talking about empowerment. You're talking about ingredients in different products, or why you need to sleep 8 hours a night, or why you need to drink so much water, or what the sun can do for you, or sharing articles, or whatever that looks like. So I would say 60% of the time you are putting health stuff out there. Then 20% of the time you're talking about yourself. So your personal brand. So you're branding the other 20% of the time. So maybe for me, that's ball mom stuff, or I'm talking about, going on field trips or doing stuff with my family and stuff like that. I'm just kind of saying things that are letting them know who I am. So then 20% of the time you can be selling. And that's when Plexus would be in there. P.S. I keep seeing different articles on social media that says, do not put your company name in the body. So you can you can say my products, or you're going to want to try what I have to offer and all that, because they're burying posts that have company names. So I've seen that over and over and over again the last couple of weeks. And so I'm just throwing that out there as a free tip. You can take it or leave it, but I'm trying to not say Plexus on my products when I'm talking about them. Even if I have a picture of Plexus products, I just don't say the actual, I don't write out Plexus. 20% of the time you're selling and you're talking about what you have to offer. And so when you look at your feed and it's all Plexus, 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 let me just back up. If that's working for you, then keep doing it. If you are getting lots of direct messages, lots of interaction, and people are messaging you all the time, and you're successful talking about Plexus all the time, by all means, keep doing it. But if you're not, and you're going, no one's paying attention to me, and I'm struggling, and I'm having trouble getting my message across, then you might think about pivoting and trying to post this way. But another thing that I would say too is be careful with like pods. And by pods, I mean like people will get like in groups and they'll say, okay, everyone, y'all go give my post some love. Will y'all go comment on my post? And when you think about what the platforms do and how they operate and how the algorithms work, it's saying, hey, I see you interacting with this kind of post and this kind of person. So I'm going to show you more of that. And so what happens is you end up in this like tunnel of all these Plexus people. And so that's probably what's showing up all in your feed. And then you keep commenting, and then all you're seeing is Plexus people. And so I say, make yourself vulnerable, hide all those Plexus people that you're trying to, look for your target audience. You don't want to, we're all feeling a little bit better because we've got 25 likes on our picture and we don't feel as vulnerable, but no one else sees it outside of Plexus. That's not helping you. And so be willing to be sitting there with your one like for people to see it. And you know what? So often I'm scrolling Facebook or Instagram, and I look at a post and it makes me smile or makes me laugh, or I like it in my head, but I don't double tap. So don't equate not getting a like with thinking they hate me. They're reporting me right now. They're so over me. No, it's just some people are just scrolling along and they're not rewarding it with a like, but that's okay. You're still getting your exposures in there. Instead of going in your group chat and saying, hey, go comment on my post, Instead, what I'm doing is I'll start going and looking up the hashtags that I'm going to use. So if I'm going to talk about weight loss, well, then I'm going and looking up for like 30 minutes, my weight loss journey, my Fitness Pal, and weight loss, lose weight, all those kind of things. Maybe if it's Joy, I'm doing all kinds of different things, but I'm looking for those kinds of hashtags, and I'm interacting on posts that have to do with that hashtag. And so I'm saying, hey, this is the kind of information that I want to see. This is the kind of information that I'm interacting with. Put me in a rhythm with those people. And so then when I make my post, I can then go back to some of those people too and send them a message and say, hey, I saw you commenting about this. This might be something you'd want to look at. So be smart. Don't worry about the vanity metrics. Don't worry about how many followers you have or how many likes you're getting or how many comments. Like, just concentrate on getting a few people that are going, what does she have over there? Like, think about that. That's so much better long-term than the short-term of, okay, my post isn't sitting out there by itself without any interaction. And y'all, people know how to unfollow you. They get it. They know that you just hit unfollow, or they hit mute, or unfriend or whatever. They know how to do that. If they are still your friend and they're still following you, and heck, if they're still liking stuff of yours, then they really like you. So be confident in that. Like, they like you. They're still around. And so be willing to put yourself out there and go, I have this audience here. What am I going to do with it? And lastly, I tell this quote all the time because I love it, and I think about it all the time. And I saw it on a graphic designer at Plexus at the corporate headquarters. It was on a graphic designer's desk, and it said, they're not just details, they're part of the design. And I think about that all the time. And so all those little things in you that you think are just maybe quirky details or just little nuances to your personality, those are part of your design, and they're what make you special and unique. And sometimes we downplay our strengths because they're so natural to us that we just think they're innate, and that because they are innate in you, but they're not in other people. And so those qualities that you can put out there, those are value adds to other people. And it's part of how you were created and designed with these special giftings. And so I just encourage you, don't try to blend in and just go, oh, this is what so-and-so's doing, that's what so-and-so. No one knows. They don't know who Celeste is. They don't know who Brooke Hemingway is or Andrea is. They just know you. And so you get to represent Plexus in a very unique way with a very unique voice, and you're going to attract the people that need to be in your business. Just hone in on that and go, like, forge ahead with that, and it's going to do big things. And so I'm just excited for y'all. And if y'all want to follow me on Instagram, I put lots of social media tips. I have a new website coming out in a couple of weeks. There have lots of things about how to help you social media, because I want our industry to be cooler on social media, because I think it would help us as a whole. I do. I think if we can learn how to man this craft in a way that makes people go, you know what? Those people maybe are not doing it great, but those Plexus people, they have got it figured out, and I want what they're selling. And so I want us to get better at that. But I'm believing that y'all are about to just take the bull by the horns and do big things now.
I am so excited. I took so many notes. It is possibly ridiculous. I have 3 pages of notes. Rebekah, one thing I want to ask you is, there are days when I think all of us feel like nothing exciting happened. I don't have anything to post about today. I stayed home all day. My kid threw up on me, which if you're a mom, you think is not that exciting or photo worthy. I know personally what your paper calendar kind of looks like, but will you kind of explain to everyone what you do on those days, or how you kind of set up your week so that you don't have gaps in your social media?
Sure. One thing is, get over the idea that you have to post in real time, that you have to post something that happened today in the last hour. When I go on a field trip with my kids, I'm not posting at the field. I may on my story or something, but if I have to think about taking a picture and then writing out a really great caption and editing it all, well, then I'm out of the moment. Like, I'm out of the living the life. And the worst is when you post a picture and then 15 minutes later they do something, like you get the best picture ever, but dang it, you already posted of the field trip. And so it's done forever. So instead, I take a lot of pictures, and then I say that one thing that I would say, like tonight or this week or this weekend, especially if you have an iPhone. I don't know how this works on an Android or something else, but I'm sure there's something similar. The iPhone will let you heart, favorite pictures. And so go through your pictures. Maybe they're 2 years old or whatever, and you go, I loved that picture. And maybe there's a story that you can tell with that. Inevitably, I track I'm a big tracker on different things. And every time that I tell a story, it's my highest performing post. People love a story. And so that's another thing. In my notes section, sometimes, well, I'll just show y'all, in my planner. So my planner is there's a month part of it, and then there's the weekly, right? So like you can look at the month at a glance or the week. So I use the like month at a glance for my my social media posts. And it's all in pencil because I totally can move stuff around. And so maybe at the beginning of the month, I'm looking through and I'm like, what are the national days this month? Is it like today was National Take a Chance Day, you know? Or maybe it's Margarita Day, or it's Take a Nap Day, or whatever it is. And so I see that's like a writing prompt. And so I'm like, well, could I maybe make a post about that? And so I put that in my calendar, you know, and then maybe I'm thinking, okay, the first and second Friday, I mean, the first and third Fridays of the month, those are paydays for most people. So if I'm going to put a product post on there or a bit, whatever, I'm probably going to do it around those days because people have money in their pockets and they're more likely to spend than if they're in the middle of a pay cycle. I look at my family schedule. Is it going to be somebody's birthday or a field trip or whatever? And if so, I pencil that in, you know, and I kind of try to plan it at least a week out. But I mean, I've gotten to where now I can do it like a month out, and there's lots of erasing. But then like at the bottom down here, if I get an idea for a post, then I just pencil it in. And so like today, I'm driving down the road and I start thinking about something. I'm like, that's a social media post. And so I write it in my calendar, or I put a note in my phone, and I'm like, that's something I could share about. And you can do the same. It doesn't have to be this happened this morning, this happened this afternoon. It's just when you're thinking about education and you're thinking about entertainment, and then you're also thinking about those kind of, when you start to kind of get a broader view and you're like, okay, I'm going to post about health this month. Well, then that opens you up a lot, because it's not like, hey, look, it's Taco Tuesday. It has to be posted on a Tuesday. It's saying this is a health tip. And so where can you put a good health tip? What's a good day? Your weekends are always going to get the least engagement. And so I don't post, I kind of save my posts, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are typically like your prime time to be posting. Another thing is when you post matters. And so I typically post like first thing in the morning. So first thing in the morning, lunchtime, or at night, like 7 to 9 when people are sitting on the couch scrolling. Those are, you know, just kind of common sense. Those are when people have their phones out. And so post then. But don't think that just because my life's not exciting that you can't post. And I say this all the time. There are people that want to know how to clean their baseboards better. There are people that are looking on social media to how to Marie Kondo their house. Like there are people that are looking for all those little things that you're like, I don't have anything. I bet you have something. And so just make that part of your brand. I mean, gosh, Sally Crosby started going to Walmart once a week and posting all her, her Walmart finds. And it's totally become a part of her brand that she's like Walmart Wednesday, and she goes and shows all the like cute things she finds in Walmart. So just you never know, like what could be your kind of one of your things that you're talking about all the time.
I love it. And Rebekah knows that Walmart Wednesday will never happen for me. She actually took me to TJ Maxx and then laughed at me the entire time because I had no idea what I was doing in there. So
I was literally born and raised in TJ Maxx. I love TJ. I've been there twice this week. And it's Tuesday.
sweet friends were patient with me as I had no idea how to dig in a store. So we all have our things that we're really good at and things that we're really bad at. Rebekah, thank you so much for just brain dumping all the wisdom that you've learned. I think one of my favorite things that you said is that you just absorb books, that you just are constantly willing to learn. You're constantly willing to learn something new. I mean, the fact that you quoted a digital marketing guru. Like, who does that? But
it's a great podcast. I just got his book. Well, I'll tell you that, like if you will listen, like make yourself listen to something on the way to work or in the car line or something, or you're picking up a book, y'all, that is so motivating to me, and it fills me with information. Like, or make yourself follow health experts on Instagram. Like if that's your research, then okay. Like if following big researchers is your former research, great. But if you're just kind of picking apart from other people's information and then tweaking it in a way that you feel like your audience can understand, that's valuable. And so that's one reason that I'm just inhaling all the time, is because I have a big organization. If I was just leaning on my own strength to come up with anything that I've done in this business, is because I'm a copycat. I don't have any brilliant ideas. I don't think that I've done anything like I'm not your girl. If you want like all the genius tips and tricks, whatever, I'm just paying attention to what people that are successful are doing. And then I do that, and you can do that too. Like you can do that too. So,
but I think we all would say that we are very grateful for the fact that Rebekah not only is obedient in listening to the things that she needs to listen to and wise in the things that she needs to listen to, but she's able to then copycat them in a way that we are able to digest and understand and take 3 pages of notes instead of listening to, 3 days worth of podcasts. So I think that you have a God-given wisdom and desire to pour into women. I think you know that, and I think we are the beneficiaries of your obedience in that. So thank you so much for loving us.
We all get to learn from each other. We do.
And I love it. So thank you for teaching us tonight. I hope you all have a great night, and I will send y'all the recording. Y'all have a good one. Thanks, Rebekah.